Can you solve all these world civilization questions? A belief in many gods is called. Nice selection. Polytheism is correct. People who study heavenly bodies. Nicely done. Astronomers is solid. When did the Second World War ended? Sharp thinking. 1945. A method that brings water to crops. Correct. Irrigation is spot on. Greek for land between the rivers. Nice work. Mesopotamia fits perfectly. What was the first empire in the world? Valid point. Akkadian is true. Where did Mycenaean civilization start? Good thinking. Peloponnesus is right. The earliest civilization in Europe was. Correct response. Minoans is accurate. How old is the Indus Valley civilization? Smart pick. 8,000 is correct. The division of society by rank or class. Well done. Social hierarchy is right. Egyptian civilization lies near Dash River. Right again. Nile is valid. What is the tallest mountain in the world? Great job. T. Everest is accurate. Which age did the Egyptian civilization end? Clear logic. Bronze Age is sound. Where was the Mycenaean civilization based? Bravo. Mainland Greece is the answer. The common people of the Roman civilization. You chose plebeians? Correct. Till when the Indus Valley civilization end? Solid response. 2500 BS is valid. Where did the Minoan civilization originate? Exactly, Crete makes sense. Sumerian ancient civilization writing system. Perfect. Cuneiform is the one. The Indus Valley civilization is often called. You're right. Harappan civilization is correct. Recognized king in the Mycenaean civilization. You got it. King Agamemnon fits. Another name for the Indus Valley civilization. Excellent choice. Harappan culture is right. Toys in the Harappan civilization were made of. Well reasoned. Terracotta is correct. Which is the biggest Harappan civilization site? Strong choice. Rokhagahi is right. On which sea did the Egyptian civilization start? Excellent. Mediterranean Sea is well reasoned. Which is the most ancient civilization of India? Well picked. Indus Valley is correct. Indus Valley civilization is also called as Dash. Smart move. Harappan civilization is accurate answer. What is the script of Indus Valley civilization? On track. Pictography is correct. Select any feature of Mesopotamian civilization. Great thinking. Cuneiform is right. The aristocratic class of the Roman civilization. Good job. Patricians works well. The first civilization in ancient Greece were the. Right choice. Minoans is best. The term civilization is derived from Latin word. Well picked. Civitas is correct. The Indus Valley Civilization began circa BCP. Right choice. 3000 is best. What is the staple food of Harappan civilization? Excellent choice. Pork is right. First king and founder of the Minoan civilization? You're right. Herring Minos is correct. The River Dash is the largest river in the world. Correct response. Nile River is accurate. The Dash civilization built the palace at Knossos. Nice work. Minoan fits perfectly. The Indus civilization began to decline around the... Well reasoned. 1700s BC is correct. Which invading civilization conquered the Minoans? Correct. Mycenaeans is spot on. A form of writing developed by the people of Sumer. Good job. Cuneiform works well. Which Bronze Age civilization occupied largest area? Great thinking. Indus Valley is right. Who were the founders of Indus Valley civilization? Good thinking. Dravidians is right. The Minoan civilization first arose on what island? Nice selection. Crete is correct. What civilization inspired the Phoenician alphabet? Great job. The Egyptians is accurate. Over time, the cities grew, which resulted in a dash. Valid point. City-state is true. This empire was the largest the world had ever seen. On track. Persian is correct. What is the Indus Valley civilization also known as? Sharp thinking. Harappan civilization is right.
The first civilization that emerged in Crete was the...
Well done. Minoan is right. Which civilization was the first to arise in Greece? Excellent. Minoans is well reasoned. The Mycenaean civilization developed around BC. Right again. 1600 is valid. Which continent is this Indus civilization located on? Nicely done. Asia is solid. Which civilization brought the end of historic Israel? Clear logic. Romans is sound. The Sumerians developed the first civilization in Dash. Smart move. Mesopotamia is accurate answer. What civilization had astronomers to study the heavens? Bravo. Babylonians is the answer. Which civilization was first to develop the 7-day week? Exactly. Chaldean makes sense. Considered the greatest historian of the ancient world. Strong choice. Thucydides is right. The culture developed by a particular region or nations. Solid response. Civilization is valid. A time when Greek culture spread through the known world. Perfect. Hellenistic era is the one. The Great Bath if Indus Valley civilization is found at. You got it. Mohenjo-Daro fits. The entire area of the Harappan civilization shaped like. You chose a triangle, correct? The Minoan civilization was located at the island of what? Smart pick. Crete is correct. Has its own government, but is not part of any larger unit. Excellent choice. City-state is right. What trading system did the Indus Valley Civilization use?
Strong choice. Barter system is right.
Name any one important sites of Indus Valley Civilization. You got it. Harappa fits.
Which civilization wrote in a different type of cuneiform?
Exactly.
Hittites make sense. When was the Harappan civilization on the verge of decline?
1500 BC fits perfectly. The Indus River civilization is located on the continent of.
Sharp thinking. Asia is right.
Which is the biggest site of the Indus Valley Civilization?
Smart pick. Rockuri is correct.
The Minoan civilization is thought to have originated here. Correct. Crete is spot on. Which group of people were the first civilization in Greece?
Correct response. Minoans is accurate.
The library here attracted scholars from all over the world.
Perfect.
Alexandria is the one. Who is known as the earliest civilization in ancient Greece? Great job. Minoans is accurate. One surprising technology the Indus civilization had was dash. Well picked. Suez is correct. This is the continent where the Greek civilization sprang up. Right choice. Europa is best. Which civilization is considered to be the first Greek people? Well reasoned. Mycenaean is correct. Greek myths describe an early civilization that developed dash. Nicely done. On Crete is solid. On what island was the earliest center of Aegean civilization? Excellent. Crete is well reasoned. The first discovered site of the Indus Valley civilization is. You chose Harappa, correct? The main building materials of the Indus civilization was dash. Valid point. Brick is true. What is the most famous artifact in Indus Valley civilization? Good thinking. Pashputi seal is right. Indus Valley civilization, also known as the Dash civilization. You're right. Harappan is correct. The Romans admired art and literature from which civilization? Bravo! Greeks is the answer. The Dash civilization was the first to arise in ancient Greece. Solid response. Mycenaean is valid. Which was not an industrial center in Indus Valley civilization? Good job. Kalibangan works well. Today, the Harappan civilization is mostly found in what country? Well done. Pakistan is right. Which civilization was warlike and attacked its neighbors often?
Right again. Mycenaeans is valid.
What civilization established the first great kingdom in Greece? Hor. Great thinking. The Mycenaeans is right.
For how many years the Indus Valley civilization existed in India?
Clear logic. 4-5 is sound. Which one was the biggest industrial site of Harappa civilization? Nice selection. Chanudaro is correct. What were the archaeological sources of the Egyptian civilization?
Smart move. Paintings is accurate answer.
One of the largest cities of the ancient Indus Valley civilization
On track. Mohenjo-Daro is correct.
Which of the following is not an example of a climate in the world?
Good thinking. Country is right.
It is considered the most central city of the Minoan civilization.
Smart pick. Knossos is correct.
Darius belonged to the civilization and created a common currency.
Well done. Persians is right.
What civilization was led by Sargon and was located north of Sumer?
Good job. The Akkadians works well.
The first people in the world to use wheeled vehicles were the Dash.
Right choice. Sumerians is best.
How did the Phoenician alphabet spread throughout the ancient world?
Valid point. Sea trade is true.
The Phoenicians were also the first civilization to invent app and dash.
You chose alphabet. Correct.
Which civilization adopted the Phoenician alphabet and added vowels? Great job. Greece is accurate.
More than how many seals have been found in Indus Valley civilization?
Great thinking. 2000 is right. What civilization more than likely conquered the Minoans in 1400 BC?
Nicely done. Mycenaeans is solid.
Which was the first site of Indus Valley civilization to be discovered? Correct response. Harappa is accurate. Which was the first city to be discovered in Indus Valley civilization? Strong choice. Harappa is right. The large river along which the Egyptian civilization developed is Dash.
Right again. Nile is valid.
What modern-day sporting event began with the ancient Greeks in 776 BC? Smart move. Olympics is accurate answer. The Indus River Valley civilization is located in which modern country? Bravo. Pakistan is the answer. Which civilization did the Romans fight during the 120-year Punic Wars? Excellent. Carthaginians is well-reasoned. Complex societies that have organized governments, culture, and writing. Nice work. Civilization fits perfectly. Which Indus Valley site indicates the eastern border of the civilization? On track. Alamjapur is correct. Which civilization charted the positions of the stars and used geometry? Nice selection. Chaldeans is correct. One of the centers of the Indus Valley civilization, rediscovered in 1921. Solid response. Harappa is valid. The legendary king who is said to have founded the civilization in Crete? Perfect. Minos is the one. Ashurbanipal was from the Dash civilization, and he created the first Dash. Well picked. Assyrian's library is correct. Dash rebuilt Babylon, making it the largest and richest city in the world. Clear logic. King Nebuchadnezzar is sound. The leading commercial center of the early mainland Aegean civilization was. You're right. Mycenae is correct. Who is considered by some to be the greatest historian of the ancient world? Excellent choice. Thucydides is right. What was the smallest unit of measurement the Indus Valley civilization had? You got it. 1.6 millimeters fits.
What was the main occupation of the people of the Indus Valley Civilization?
Correct. Trade is spot on.
Which was the first Site city to be discovered in the Harappan civilization? Exactly. Harappa makes sense. A central fortress usually found in the center of a Harappan civilization city. Well reasoned. Citadel is correct.
Which legendary king is considered the first ruler of the Minoan civilization? Sharp thinking. Minos is right.
Which was the river that supported the beginnings of the Egyptian civilization?
Well reasoned. Nile is correct.
Houses of the people of Indus Valley civilization were the open courtyard.
Correct response. Around is accurate. Which of the following is not a contribution the Phoenicians made to the world?
Nice work. The plow fits perfectly.
Philip E. targeted the civilization when he first established his throne.
Solid response. Greek is valid. Which other river civilization had natural barriers to protect it from invaders?
Great job. Egypt is accurate.
A traditional story that explains a culture's beliefs or part of the natural world. Great thinking. Myth is right. In the Indian subcontinent, the first civilization developed in the valley of river.
You're right. Indus is correct.
Which civilization began in 6000 BC but reached its peak around 1500 BC? Smart pick. Minoan is correct. Which civilization was known for being cruel and used a battering ram for defense? Excellent. Assyrians is well reasoned. Which of the following was not a contemporary of the Indus or Harappan civilization? Right again. Greek is valid. Which ancient civilization was the basis for the Romans' work in art and literature? Perfect. Greece is the one. A society marked by characteristics like government, food supply, religion, and jobs. Nice selection. Civilization is correct. The Harappan civilization settled along the Indus River in which present-day country? Good job. Pakistan works well. This is considered the residence of the warrior kings of the Mycenaeans civilization. Well picked. Citadel is correct. A characteristic of civilization that includes people's beliefs and behaviors is Valid point. Culture is true. Which is the civilization which may have imported gold to the Indus Valley civilization? Good thinking. Persia is right. During the Hellenistic era, which culture was spread throughout many parts of the world? Clear logic. Greek is sound. This is the civilization whose writing system and culture were borrowed from the Minoans. Smart move. Mycenaeans is accurate answer. Which civilization did most of Rome's knowledge in math, science, and technology come from? Exactly. Greece makes sense. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. You chose Contact Narayan Chengda.